Yo, what it do, my YouTube family, all of my people, you know what I'm saying? All of y'all, my people, my supporters, I love y'all, you know what I'm talking about? And what I wanted to talk to y'all about is really God. Who is God? What is God, man? What is God? What do God mean to you? What God means to me may not mean the same thing as what God mean to you. What do I mean by that? Like, what is my definition of God? My definition of God is all of us combined. Who is us? All of God's creation, the humans, the animals, the birds, the plants, the life, everything that got life from down to our cellular structure. You know what I'm saying? God gave everything a blueprint and a cycle and instructions to what to do. You know what I'm saying? Even when your body forms, it's God. You know what I'm saying? And they say we were made in God's image. You'll be a fool to not think that you are a god. You know what I mean? The Bible say Egypt got tore down because of people thinking that they were gods and God. No, it was the fact that people were practicing something that nobody couldn't have power and control over them as long as they knew the power of themselves. You know what I mean? So, and this goes very deep. Like, a lot of people got their own rebuttals and stuff as to what the Bible means and if it's real, if it's fake, if God is real or if God is fake. I can tell you this right here. Everything that has been built was built with intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Even the makeup of your body, the way that your heart pumps. I was talking to my daddy earlier about it. You know what I'm saying? From the way that you move, your mechanics, the way that your body can't move, the degrees in which, like, everything has a place. You know what I mean? Everything got a set of instructions. Our instructions that we were endowed with when we were born in America are not the instructions that God. They can't change God instructions, what God made for us, or alter anything. You know what I mean? So what God wants happens, no matter what. And that's all I got to say about it. Like, everybody got their own opinion as to, like, what God means. And who's to say that they wrong or they right? My God may be bigger than your God. Your God may be bigger than my God. Just depending on your feelings. And y'all, I'm kind of getting lost while I'm riding. I'm trying to make it back home. I just left work. And I had a friend that was like, man, all this knowledge, like, as I be speaking to them in conversations, they were like, man, you need to put that on your YouTube and, like, let people see this side of you. And, like, plus people be looking for guidance and things like that. So go ahead and put it out there that, you know what I'm saying, that's what you want. And that's exactly what I'm on. Like, if it's about consciousness and spreading that you are a God, you got super sensory and psychic powers that you don't use. You know what I mean? Like, what do I mean by that? You don't use all of your senses, probably not all of your brain, because of the chemicals that is sprayed in the air, the chemicals that they spraying on our weed, the chemicals that they putting in our food, the chemicals that they putting in our water, the chemicals that they putting in our toothpaste. You know what I mean? The chemicals that they injecting in our body, talking about it is for diseases. Who's to say that our body can't naturally fight off whatever disease that you injecting into me? You know what I mean? That's the shit I'm talking about. Like, and you know that God and the devil is at a war. You know that in folklore, the true rulers of the planet ruled, and then their evil brother, in a lot of different stories, their evil brother came over and corrupted the kingdom, took it over, but the kingdom died under the evil brother, because the evil brother cannot and will not be able to maintain the balance needed for this planet and for the people on this planet to survive. So the circle of life breaks when that happens. But I believe in God, though, wholeheartedly. I believe we all are God. Meaning, like, sometimes we at war with each other, sometimes we in harmony with each other. It's just like your feelings. Like, if you were a God and your feelings were people, it'll behave the same way that we behave down here on Earth. Like, if you zoom out of space, it looked like your brain, the inside of your brain. Who's to say that we're not living inside of a living being? Who's to say that we are not part of that being, all of us together, combined? And I'm going to tell you something. When it comes to God, God directly influences if you're going to be encouraged, empowered, or if you're not going to know who you are or be confused. So people know that. So if you already know that you're God, and you got different if you already know that you're God, all you got to do is zoom in to what you need to do, and that's all you got to do. Because your instructions are already set for you. Nobody else but for you. God may be an invisible man to you, but God is not an invisible man to me. God is the structure of everything. God is the faceless thing that's into all of us. That's what God is. We are a part of this faceless thing. We become this thing when we die. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, when I say we are gods, there are people who have psychic abilities. There are people who have died and their soul have rose out their body. It's people that go to sleep and look down on themselves while they sleep. And it's people who have premonitions and who experience paranormal activities. How can you explain all of this? Is that person who having these things, are they crazy, or have they somehow unlocked or not been exposed to the same amount of chemicals and shit that you have? Maybe they wasn't bombarded with as much media and signals and chemicals and stuff like that as you were. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, when people die, they go into the grid. What I call the grid, it's a grid above the earth. It's a part of the earth where everybody is connected. We are all one. Like, all your thoughts, all your feelings, all your emotions, it travels along waves and grid lines in the earth. You know what I mean? And explaining this, like, that's how a lot of people die and they return, and people see, and someone says, hey, this person came to me in my dream. Like, I seen this person and it scared me and they went away. Or this person said, hey, they came back. And this person, they not lying. I have had different things gifted to me where I can see certain things, where I know certain things, where I can research and learn certain things, and I thank God for it. And I know that it is God. Anybody who don't, you know what I'm saying, we can argue all day, and I bet by the end of our conversation, you're going to be a believer that there is a source, a cosmic mother who personified themselves by the Nile River in Egypt and started civilization. And we are part of this civilization. All the nations. But it's real deep, like, as to what God means and what God really is. So, you know what I mean? That's all I gotta really say. You know what I'm talking about? We are who we are. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody change